Hello everyone and welcome to Dostofarm's Tech Talk for IPPE 2021. My name is Thomas Logemann and I am CEO of Dostofarm. Dostofarm, as a German company, has been a leader in the field of natural active ingredients for animal health and nutrition over the last 20 years. You will probably know our flagship product line, Dosto Oregano, but today we would like to present our brand new product line, PHYTOsolvan, for the respiratory tract. I have the pleasure to introduce Dr. Thilo Borchardt, our business development manager, who has developed the new product line PHYTOsolvan. Thilo, could you explain to us the features of the PHYTOsolvan products?
Thomas, thanks for the nice introduction. So today I want to present to you our new product line, PHYTOsolvan. I will start with a general overview of disease complexes in livestock, of which respiratory diseases make up to almost 1/3 of all incidences, with the consequence of performance losses, increased morbidity and mortality, major economic losses resulting from that, and in many cases treatments are not available. So a bit more about respiratory diseases, their causes, prevention and treatment. So we have on the one hand non-infectious causes that result from inappropriate environmental and husbandry conditions. We have the infectious diseases that are caused by either bacteria, viruses, fungi or parasites, and which is mostly the case, multifactorial complexes that result from immunosuppressive diseases, co-infections of bacteria or bacteria and viruses, but also post-vaccination reactions. So how to handle those? On the one hand, non-infectious diseases, most effective treatment is proper management, of course. For infectious diseases, we have the possibility to vaccinate animals when vaccines are available, and we have the possibility to treat at least bacterial diseases as long as such bacterial strains are not antibiotic resistant. For these multifactorial complexes, however, proper management, prevention and treatment are required. So to summarize, respiratory diseases are amongst the leading causes of mortality in food-producing animals. They lead to large financial losses due to decreased productivity and veterinary interventions. Prevention is not in all cases possible, and the treatment options for several respiratory diseases are limited. But let's go into more detail and talk about poultry. So what are the major respiratory disease pathogens in poultry? On the one hand, we have the viral causes, and we are very familiar with, for example, Newcastle disease, infectious bronchitis, avian influenza or fowlpox. We have several bacterial and mycobacterial causes for respiratory disease in poultry, which is infectious coryza, Pastorella, coli, Bordetella, but also Mycoplasma. And we have aspergillosis, a disease caused by fungi. But next to it, we also see environmental factors that influence or are partially causing respiratory diseases in poultry, which is on the one hand stocking density and inadequate housing condition that has to do with management, of course, insufficient biosecurity, suboptimal nutrition, but also post-vaccination reactions. So what are the symptoms common to respiratory diseases in poultry? So we have primary respiratory symptoms like discharge from eyes and nostrils. We see coughing and sneezing of the animals. Animals are panting, and as signs of inflammation we see swollen heads, eyes and wattles. Secondary symptoms are either a drop in feed intake and weight gain, a drop in the egg laying rate and egg quality, but also fever and diarrhea coming along with that. And the financial or economical consequences are, of course, increased mortality, persistent lesions in edible tissue, and a decreased productivity. So, how could, in this case, supplementary feed support in poultry respiratory disease recovery? So, on the one hand, such products can help to preserve respiratory health. They should be able to alleviate symptoms of respiratory disease and also support the recovery process from respiratory distress. So what are the functional requirements for such supplementary feeds? Is on the one hand an acute respiratory symptom relief, so that means products or components should work as antitussives. They should dampen or suppress the coughing reflex. They should be expectorant, so to help to clear mucus from the airways, as secretolytics or mucolytics, and they should help to widen airways through smooth muscle relaxation, so working as a bronchodilative. We also here have the component of respiratory symptom recovery, so that means such components should help to relieve pain, so they should suppress the sensation of pain, of course without affecting consciousness and sensory perception. They should have an anti-inflammatory component, so should help to reduce inflammation in mouth, pharynx and airways. And they should be antimicrobial, so they should have antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal and antiparasitic properties. But we should not forget that such products also need to help the animals to recover from appetite depression or performance losses. So that means such components should be appetite stimulating. They should have a pleasant smell and taste, but they should also aid nutrient digestion and enhance absorption. So as a stimulator of saliva production, gastric enzyme secretion or bile secretion, should have emulsifying properties to aid fat and lipid digestion, and they should have nutrient absorption enhancement capacities. So how to combine all that in one product? We decided to choose the way we do it with only natural ingredients, and for this we utilized evidence-based combinations of essential oils and plant extracts that can support respiratory health in livestock. And we tried to combine all these features mentioned before, being antitussive, expectorant and bronchodilative, being pain relieving, anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial, but also appetite stimulating and digestibility enhancing. Also, one basic requirement is that such products must be applicable either in feed and in the waterline. So we need a certain flexibility, not only depending on species, but also depending on the special type of application needed. And to combine that in acute respiratory symptom relief, we use also here combinations of essential oils and extracts that contain terpenes, terpenines, saponins, tannins and flavonoids. And The application meant for is to resolve persistent mucus and facilitate expectoration. They should help to suppress the coughing reflex. They should help to relax bronchial musculature, to work as a bronchodilator, and can be helpful against acute respiratory diseases, against catarrhs of the upper respiratory tract, and against bronchitis and whooping cough. The second feature that we need is respiratory symptom recovery. So we also use here saponins, complex sugars, certain organic acids, glycosides, and other components that are known from already used plant oils or extracts in respiratory diseases. And the application is here to reduce irritations and inflammation in mouth and throat, to stimulate secretion of mucus from the trachea, also to stimulate the bronchial mucosa to form more thin fluid secretions, and should help then to promote expectoration of bronchial secretions. Also here we have a certain suppression of pain sensation without affecting consciousness and sensory perception of the animals, and it should of course have an anti-inflammatory and antioxidative component that helps also to reduce irritations and inflammation in gastric mucosa and reduce bloating. Last but not least, we have the appetite stimulation and digestibility improvement component. Also here, it's a combination of tannins, saponins, monosaccharides, but also complex sugars, certain essential oils, flavonoids, and minerals. And here, it should be against inflammation of the gastric mucosa and bloating to facilitate or recover from digestibility problems. They should be there to increase feed intake, to increase digestibility of nutrients. They should help against stomach and intestinal complaints such as gastritis, enteritis, colitis, but also against flatulence and cramps. And it should have a calming and anti-anxiety effect. So what we were trying to combine here for in-feed applications as for liquid applications to generate a unique composition of all natural ingredients that cover at best most of the features or the requirements that we see for a product to help to support respiratory health. So to conclude with, we have here with PHYTOsolvan a natural, controlled and standardized combination of essential oils and extracts with antitussive, expectorant and bronchodilative features, with antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory and pain-relieving properties, but also with appetite stimulation, digestibility improving and nutrient absorption enhancing capacities. And last but not least, of course, this formulation is unique and optimized in dosage for every single livestock species. So I'd like to thank you for your attention, and for any further information that you need, please visit either our website www.dostofarm.com or our other contact information that we will show you in the next slide. Thanks a lot and have a nice day.